I've put more time into Might & Magic Heroes 6 than I will in almost any other game this year. The sheer amount of playable content is daunting and makes this turn-based strategy title one of the best values I've ever encountered. After hours and hours of playtime, I expected to be bored, but Heroes 6 remains entertaining despite any flaws, making it a great treat for any strategy enthusiast. Heroes 6 tells the story of a troubled royal family. Through the numerous campaigns, you get to find out how each of the Duke's many children interact with the main plot. It's good to play each campaign because they each introduce you to the various factions, such as orcs or humans. But the story itself is ultimately forgettable. Even the new Tears and Blood morality system, where you make choices that give you various abilities depending on what you do, can't make it all that interesting. The choices aren't anything to agonize over, and I quickly pick one to get the next power or item I need. Still, story shortcomings aside, the campaign doesn't disappoint. From the main menu, you can access the campaign and multiplayer, both local and online, as well as check out your dynasty. By playing and getting achievements, you unlock dynasty points that you can use to buy additional abilities and characters for both campaign and multiplayer missions. Moreover, dynasty rewards give you a consistent set of rewards while you play, softening the blow of brutal defeat or making victory all the sweeter. Graphically, Might & Magic 6 pleases. A surprising amount of detail is put into the models and environment, even when you zoom in. Heroes 6 has two different turn-based gameplay components. Your hero, who you can customize with loot and level up in an RPG manner, moves around a campaign map each turn. With their army in tow, you direct them towards enemy forces and use them to gather loot and other special items. You then use the items you collect and lands you conquer to manage your economy, which is important for building up cities and expanding your territory. A good deal of strategy occurs during these sections, because your hero has limited movement. I found myself having to make careful decisions about which enemies to attack, which resources to pursue, and which items to go after. The other turn-based section comes into play when two armies clash. You can auto-resolve most battles, but if you want to get knee-deep in strategy, you can play them directly. Combat takes place on a grid, and it's up to you to direct your troops based on the layout of the enemy. You have an array of troop types at your disposal, so a clever commander will play their abilities off one another, as well as use their hero spells and abilities to turn the tide. Disappointingly, later combat really comes down to simple math. No matter the skill of the commander, an overwhelming amount of troops will ultimately win the day. With that said, every map is still satisfying. It takes a lot of skill and resource management to make sure you're able to build up the massive armies it takes to win after all. If you manage to complete the various campaigns, no small feat since they're difficult even on easy, there's still custom maps and multiplayer. You can play local multiplayer in hot seat mode as well as go online. I'm still a fan of just duking it out with the AI though, as online multiplayer requires a lot of waiting for the other side to take their turn. If you're not patient, you can just jump directly into quick turn-based battles, but I prefer the skill it takes to manage my heroes and cities in an epic campaign. Might & Magic Heroes 6 may have some issues with battlefield tactics in the late game and its story, but the strategy remains a blast nonetheless. Near infinite hours of gameplay await, and anyone looking for a well-made and addictive turn-based strategy game need look no further than this. For more on Might & Magic Heroes 6, go to IGN.com.